Transaction and its states in RDBMS. Let us see what is transaction. Transaction is any action or a series of actions that are being performed by a user or a program which reads, updates the content of the database. Let us see the definition of transaction. A transaction can be defined as a logical unit of work on the database, means that work we perform on the database, that task we perform onto the database. This may be an entire program, a piece of program, or a single command like SQL commands such as insert or update, and it may engage in any number of operations on the database. Let us see, there are states of transaction. There are number of states of database transaction. A transaction in a database can be in any one of the following state. There are 5 states. First one is active state, partially committed state, failed state, and abort state. Let us see each step. First one is active state. In this state, the transaction is being executed. This is the initial state of every transaction, means execution of every transaction. When it executed, the transaction is in active state. Next state of transaction is partially committed state. When a transaction executes its final operation, then that transaction enter into the partially committed state. Next state is failed state. A transaction is said to be failed, that is, if any of the checks made by the database recovery system fails, a failed transaction can no longer proceed further. Failure due to the some error, that transaction may be failed. That error may be failure, may be system failure, database failure. Due to that, transaction may be failed. Such a transaction, failed transaction, enter into the failed state. Next state of transaction is abort state. If any of the check fail and the transaction has reached a failed state, then the recovery manager roll back all its write operation on the database to bring the database back to its original state where it was prior to the execution of the transaction. Transaction in this state are called as aborted. Next state of transaction is committed. If transaction executes all its operations successfully, it is said to be committed. All its effects are now permanently established onto the database. Thank you.